Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strife Championship Series qualifying tournament number 1. We are in day 2, so this is the losers bracket that we're going through right now, but we are at the very end of the losers bracket, so that means the teams that end up winning this game and the other best of 3 we'll be seeing will end up going through and qualifying for the Strife Championship Series, and that will start in a couple of weeks. I'm Azaraki Dragon Casting. How are you doing?
Pretty good. That was a pretty short match, though. I didn't expect things to have escalated as fast as they did in favor of Papa Please.
Yeah, really the lane swap hurt them way too much. It was just the 2v1. And they got off to such a huge disadvantage at that point that it was pretty much irrecoverable. Papa Please had superior pushing. Papa Please had the superior golds, and so far I just looked over and saw what just got picked, and suddenly we have to talk about all of this really quickly. But so Bastion and Claudessa banned. First of all, 2 tanks banned out. You don't really see that too often, but what that does is that it gives eSkt bow, and it leaves Papa Please with no real tank. They get Shank. Maybe they go with Ace. Maybe they go. No, Vex is taken away by Papa Please as well. So really,
probably Hail
for
eSkt. Initiation.
So yeah, Papa Please is left to basically have Shank as their main tank, and Shank doesn't initiate as well. He just doesn't bring as much tankiness as Claudessa and Bastion do. Claudessa, Bastion, or Bow do. Shank is more of a bruiser. So speaking of all of this, we look at eSkt and they have Moxie. I feel like part of the reason they picked Moxie is because there is no main tank or like super initiation for Papa Please. And as you said, yeah, they're probably going to end up going with Hail to give them an initiation that isn't just Shank. Because right now they have 2 sources of initiation. Ray going in and using his rocket boots plus the stun combo, and Shank's pull. Those are the 2 ways they have of really initiating a fight. Hail would bring a super hard AoE initiate over to the fight. So that is something that is probably going to be a pickup for them, but with the lack of all that hard initiate, Moxie just could be a pick because of there's the downside to Moxie. The biggest downside is that he is immobile. It's too easy to gank him. In the late game, if you catch him out, there's no way he can get out of it. So picking Moxie into this team might make a little more sense than if they had Bastion or Bow, but I still think Moxie might be a really weak pick in this sense. We'll really have to see what they do with it.
Yeah, they could have picked Malady. They could have picked Caprice. We haven't seen enough Moxie play to really know how strong it's going to be. Now, a Fed Moxie is difficult to catch, does a ton of damage, has a lot of burst. Can pressure lanes, can pressure waves. It's powerful like a lot of heroes in Strife are, but Moxie loses certain lanes. And additionally, again, we haven't seen him played all that much, and he doesn't seem to be very common. So it looked like eSkt had a reasonable comp, and then they throw Moxie into the mix. So we'll see how they do with that. On the other side, 4 damage sources, like high damage sources out of Papa Please. Featherstone for their late game, Ray for late game, Carter for late game, Malady.
Malady for everything, really. Malady has a lot.
Malady kind of for everything. Her late game's not that bad, but that's a lot of burst potential. Each of them lands a skilling, you're dead, and then they have Shank sort of to tank. So the way this plays, Papa Please believes they'll win their lanes so hard that the fact that they don't have as much raw protection for their carries isn't gonna matter.
Yeah, even though Papa Please has a lot of damage late game, if eSkt gets anywhere near them, and they can definitely do that with Vex's ultimate and Rook's ultimate. Vex's ultimate is basically, think Twisted Fate, except it does actually Pantheon, if Pantheon's ultimate stuns, if you're from League of Legends. Basically, he has a global ultimate where he can appear anywhere on the map, and as soon as he lands, there's a big stun and an AoE. So that can do a lot to make sure that he gets to where he wants to be, as well as stun multiple people. Rook has his ultimate, which fires a long distance. It can go across the map as well. Bird, which ends up stunning whoever it hits, scales the stun duration scales on how far he is away. So the farther he is from where his ultimate lands, the longer they get stunned for. So that's something that they can rely on as well. On top of that, Bo is really good at closing distances too. So if Papa Please stays far enough away, and if they can get all their damage down from a distance, like Carter, like Malady can be pretty distant, Ray can be sort of distant, then they can really take the fights. They can poke eSkt down way too much, and they'll end up winning those. However, Papa Please really just needs to make either picks, or they need to just stay far enough away from eSkt so that they can't actually initiate on them.
Yeah, eSkt is sort of, Papa Please is kind of playing a see hero, kill hero comp. We have so much damage that if we find you, you're dead. Like, just between two of us, you're probably dead. Shank will keep you there, and either two of them will blow you up, or Shank and someone can pretty much handle you. We see both teams roaming off into different sides of the jungle. eSkt heading into the bottom half of the map. Pause comes out as Papa Please heads into the top half of the map. Wubby says they need just a second, and they'll be back in.
Actually, Wubby says he needs just 2 seconds.
Oh, wow, he actually only needed 2 seconds. That's impressive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was more like 4, but, we can give it to him. So we're going to continue with these invades. eSkt looks like they're just trying to get vision, maybe trying to figure out who's going into what lane. Maybe they can figure out the counter to that, because there is no real clear player on Papa Please who's going to go bot lane. Featherstone can bot lane, Carter can bot lane, Ray can bot lane, Shank can bot lane. There's a lot of people on Papa Please who can potentially solo. It looks like they're leaving Lag top, so he's not going to be the one. So still, Rippa, Zyku, and Wubby could potentially stay in the bottom lane. So with eSkt taking that observatory, they're going to want to try to figure out who it is, but it looks like it's going to run out before they find out. So we're going back to eSkt sort of playing a guessing game and sending their players wherever they think was the best spot to begin with.
Again, the lane swap. What is this, eSkt?
That's Papa Please this time.
Oh no, that's Papa Please. Okay,
Oh,
I thought it was
wow.
eSkt. I was like,
So-
eSkt, why are you doing this again?
So Papa
now
Please is
Papa
basically
Please-
like, you try this, watch this is how you actually do it. So let's see if that actually works out for them.
Well, huge damage out of those burrow bots onto Lag. I think Lag may have a better time than Ferret did. He's ranged at least. I don't know about him being able to clear the waves all that well, but he'll do okay. And they're instantly rotating viability. They don't want. They believe that Papa Please can run this lane swap better than they can. So they're going to rotate in viability to mid, and then Bo down to the bottom lane. So, that's a smart way to do the rotation. Don't send the entire team because of the way things work in Strife. You have to in the middle lane. You just swap one, and they wind up losing out on less experience and gold. So that was a good play there by eSkt to deal with the lane swap quickly. Without losing out on too much. Down in the bottom lane, we now have Shock and Ferret. Ferret on that Rook, so he's kind of trying to go up against Zyku. Wubby's here, and Wubby's playing Ray, and we've seen him build really heavy damage and burst people down, so I'd be careful if I were Ferret. As he gets hit with the stun, gets hit by that Shock field, and now Shock taking a bunch of damage, throws out the bow thrower, but he may die as well. They send forward the Burrow bot, and that 2v1 might have been fine, but 2v2, it doesn't matter. Probably still has control of the lane. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Rippa taking a little bit of damage, looking to jump onto viability, but doesn't have any of the CC he needs to make that happen just yet.
This is a really interesting game so far. We haven't seen anyone really go for duo bot on both teams in quite a while. I don't think I've ever seen it in Strife, so this is going to turn out to be a really weird game. Now, Baldir control is going to get interesting because there are only 3 players on each team that can go for it. Ooh, nice
forward by
whirlwind.
Fable onto T-Rav, a little bit more damage. They are going to pick up first blood. Now Rippa onto viability. They need a little bit more, 1 or 2 more auto attacks. They're going to dive under the tower. Nice shield by viability to keep himself alive. Rippa goes very, very low. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Shock goes deep on the Zyku. They do get the stun off. The bow thrower was there. 1 or 2 more auto attacks. They are going to pick that up, but the Burrow bot finishes off Shock. And now Ferret, I don't know if he wants to pick this fight. He was scared of Wubby. Wubby's low on mana, but Wubby is pretty scary right now. Viability is still alive in the middle lane. And up in the top lane, Lag doing a good job of pushing back TaylorMade.
Yep, it looks like Lag, again, as you say, is a little bit farther ahead in terms of the amount of, actually pretty far ahead, 400 to 268. I was reading the wrong portraits right there, but Lag is pretty far ahead in terms of the 1v1 against TaylorMade up there, and it's possible that Papa Please just sort of wanted to force a weird matchup, because in terms of eSkt, I don't know if their first pick to solo lane would have necessarily been Vermilion. It's definitely possible, but they could have sent Rook over to solo lane. There are a lot of things that could happen, and I think Rook ended up starting out as the solo laner as well.
Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Viability taking a ton of damage there, but they've turned a lot of that back on the Fable. There's that Moxie damage we don't get to see very often. I think if they'd been a little bit closer to Fable, that might have been a play. I don't know. This is an interesting middle lane. We haven't seen Moxie in a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen Moxie, and they've already given up that early kill to Fable. So far, it hasn't really worked out too well. I don't actually know where Moxie's power spike comes in. It's probably say maybe mid game, late game. I don't know. Laning phase, I don't think he does enough damage to really put too much pressure down onto Papa Please, and they're going to go for another dash. Whirlwind is not going to land, however. Even if it did, there's a shield there to mitigate a lot of that damage, but in the bot lane it's
down in the bottom lane, Shock takes a lot of damage, is able to walk away from it, but he's so low, so is Ferret. They do have the bow totem, so that's going to let them sustain up very, very fast once they get a little bit out of combat regen, and Ferret, he's able to get away from that. No, he takes the Burbots to the face after all of that effort. Yeah, derp that one a little bit. Shock taking some serious damage there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Viability looks like he's coming around for a play here. Is going to go on to Fable. Can he get the slowdown? T-Rab needs a little bit more damage. They almost have him, but he's going to be able to dash away. Now, Ripa beating on the two of them. He's going into T-Rab. Gets him very, very low. A couple more auto attacks finish the job. But Viability is there, has popped his rockets. And, oh my god, can they get Ripa a little bit more? One auto attack, but it's going to be T-Rab who comes in, and he's going to pick up... Fable's going to come in, pick up T-Rav again. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Ferret gets stunned out. They're trying to get on top of Zyku. One or two more autos might have been able to do the trick, but they're out of mana. They're starting to regen up with some of those potions, but again, Papa Please still in control and winning by inches.
And we can definitely see why Rocket Boots are first buy on on Malady. You basically rush towards there, and that gives you escapability, that gives you a lot of pick potential, and it looks like T-Rav actually decided to go for power boots, so he's going to do a little bit more damage, but again, Moxie in general is just not very escapable whatsoever, even less so than Malady, because Malady has a lot of CC, she can throw back a whirlwind, she can throw down a wall, and then she's got the rocket boots on top of that, so Moxie with power boots, no escapability whatsoever right there. Actually, what pet? Bounder. So he's going to have a dash every 5 minutes.
Interesting roam here. T-Rav gonna find Fable. Fable is coming in for the rotation. Is gonna get engaged on. Can he juke away from what he needs to? He's gonna throw down the ultimate. Gets knocked up. In comes Vex, but Vex is actually gonna cancel that one out as he's getting destroyed by Ripa. Can Ripa do it? No, he doesn't feel confident diving under that tower. So Lag is gonna pick up that kill. You know, the counter rotation, and now Fable wants to come back into the middle lane and dive Viability. Once they bring down the minions a little bit more and get slightly closer to this tower, I don't know if Viability is going to be able to survive the possible gank.
And they're going for the gank right now. Doesn't look like they'll use a hook, so they're just going to back off because T-Rav is here. And one thing I'd like to note about that top lane fight was that Fable actually waited to Whirlwind until we saw Lag on
ultimate
Carter
out of
use
Rook.
his
That
ultimate.
Deliverance coming down. The shock field is there, and that's going to slow down Ferret's play. They've gotten a lot of damage down to Zyku. One or two more auto attacks. The ultimate is coming in from Viability, but they don't seem to be able to get close enough. One auto attack is all they needed. Viability should have popped that ultimate a little deeper, and now he's going to be leaving T-Rav in the middle lane all to his lonesome. That's going to result in some tower damage. He could have probably ulted, further back in the bush to cut off the retreat.
And meanwhile, in the mid lane, we have a little bit of... Oh, that was a quick kill onto T-Rav. One last Whirlwind's going to pick that up. But yeah, what Viability would have wanted to do was ult a little bit farther back here. And that would basically force... Instead of trying to land on Papa Please, what he should have done is try to force the members of Papa Please to either walk into the stun from Vex or walk back over here into the rest of eShtrek's team, and that would have easily guaranteed them a kill. But unfortunately, just a little bit of a misplay on that ultimate, and we have a 1 second pause by Ferret, but I think that time has already passed.
Yeah, they should be back pretty quick.
Gotta say
I
1
doubt
minute
that
when you
they.
do that. Come on,
Yeah, 1 minute.
been like 20 seconds now.
I mean, he's got to go do what he's got to do.
Yeah, but he said 1 sec. He should stay to the 1 sec. There you go.
I don't know what's going on here. So is your screen shaking?
No.
Okay, I don't know what this is, but sometimes when I pause, if I'm holding down middle mouse, like it looks like my screen is constantly earthquaking right now. It's a little weird. Anyways, once I think you said it was Ferret who initiated the pause. He should be back soon. This gives us a chance to look at some of the items. So Elderstone boots for Shock. Ferret's got Fellblade, Power Shard, and Power Boots. Moxie, Power Boots, Power Shard, some regen Fellblade. Top lane, Fervor Boots, Attack Speed, and just everybody has boots on eShtek. They just don't want to get caught.
Yeah, they really don't. And if you look at Papa Please, they really don't want to get caught either. They have rocket boots on everyone except for Featherstone, who has fervor boots. Pretty good pickup on Featherstone. I think one of the biggest things Featherstone can do is kite, and the fervor boots really helps him do that. I think they have like a, what is this? Does not tell me the cooldown. No, it's probably about 15 seconds. Something ridiculously short. So he's going to be able to use that all the time, especially when he pops his ultimate. And the entire time he gets a movement speed buff, he's going to be able to throw Qs forward or backwards to either catch or run away from whoever it is. So that's a pretty good boot pickup decision by Zyku.
Yep, so T-Rav back in this middle lane, he got bursted down pretty quickly. That resulted in some good tower damage for Papa Please. If we take a quick look at the gold graph, they're ahead by about 3,000 or so. So,
yeah, it's more like 4,000
enough of an
now.
advantage. Yeah, probably more like 4,000 now. Ripa gets the vision, is rotating down to this bottom lane, and there's a huge dive on the Shock. He's very, very low. Wubby's going to have to dash away. Ferret is there to back him up, and they may be able to defend against the endless dive. Ripa goes in for the hook, doesn't land that manacle, and eShtek able to survive the onslaught. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Lag is able to get the kill with the roam coming in from Moxie. And back to the bottom lane, 3 members there. The bow thrower comes out. They're able to clear a little bit of the wave, and Ferret should be able to help them clear, or should be able to clear this out for a while, but they're going to need some backup or to push something else because they're going to lose this tower very, very quickly. Ripa walks in. Zyku is there. They're going to throw the ultimate out. The deliverance is actually going to miss. Shock goes in. Nice ultimate down onto Ripa. That's going to slow them down. 1 or 2 Murado attacks. He's going to be able to get it, but Barrett will fall. No, he sneaks away. The Razor play was almost good enough, but they got those ranged auto attacks. That's going to help them pick that up. They don't manage to get the top tower just yet. Lag is making his way back up there, so that's probably going to be this bottom tower falling unless Shock can just make the play of his life. He's pretty much out of mana. I don't think he can do anything about this. Wubby's going to walk through it, throw down some burrow bots. It's going to be the first tower going down in favor of Papa Please. But eShtek showing signs that they can make some of the plays necessary to win the game.
And T-Rav gets caught out just a little bit trying to push back and retaliate on a Papa Please's mid turret, but that's not going to be enough for them. And they're going to have to back off for a little bit. Ripa is here. They need to watch out for his pull, which is up at the moment.
Huge rotation. Wubby comes in, gets down the stun. In comes the knockup. Viability gets manacled. He's going to go down. Ripa picks up that one. And that's probably going to be this
top,
middle
though.
tower as 4 people have rotated in. Ferret is up in the top lane, lands on Deliverance, 1 or 2 Murado attacks, and they will pick up Lag. Lag is running away. Actually, Rocket Boots forward, but he's just buying time for them. He's going to go down. The middle tower falls in favor of Papa Please. They pick up that first middle turret, and they're not finished. Ripa goes forward, gets off a little bit of the slow. Wubby gets down the stun. They may actually go in for this. They do pick him up. Huge burst coming out of Fable, and now Ripa is taking out that tower, but he should be getting some help. And they're rotating in. They may try and pick up Ferret. Ferret's going to get vision of them over the wall. He's thinking about what his options are. The Vex ult is coming in. That's going in the stun. Down into Ripa. Viability may have gone too deep on his own. There isn't anybody there to back him up. Ferret is there, but he's now going to get locked out. He's pretty much out of mana. Shock is there. They're going to get 1, but it's not going to wind up being worth it. That's going to be another kill. Shock is probably going to fall as well. Zyku in the backline doing so much damage, and they may be able to continue on in the straight. No, T-Rav is back up. We've seen them destroy T-Rav. He's not very tanky, and Fable is starting to do some crushing amounts of damage. Lag is rotating back up to the top lane to stop TaylorMade, and he should be able to defend his turret, as TaylorMade has no idea where the enemy team is and cannot overextend.
Yeah, as you said before, Viability just making a little bit of a misplay, and just overall the team of eSkt has a miscommunication right there, where he went in for the kill himself, and unfortunately it did not. No one else followed up. He ulted into the bush, then he was the only one there, and then suddenly everyone died, or he died, and then everyone else sort of just got baited in, and then subsequently died afterwards as well. So that's going to be a Baldir rotation for eSkt. They do need to take as many small advantages as they can. Wubby is going to miss the stun. Nice dashes out of it, however, he's going to get them both trapped in the Baltir pit.
Huge Burrow bots doing some good damage. They do pick up the ball there. The ultimate comes in from Moxie, but only onto one target. Shock is going to take a bunch of damage. Actually, may get out of here. He's dashed away. Is the Manacle there? The Manacle is going to miss, and he's going to gain the move speed bonus. Now, in the middle of the pit, Lag is going to bring down Ferret. He was essentially left on his own in there. Didn't have his hook to dash out of the pit. And so a 1 for the Baldir is going to wind up being worth it in favor of eSkt, but they have to try their best to not give up anything they can. Viability is going to get locked down by that stun. That combination is so strong, but a nice shield is going to keep him alive. Well timed there. He'll be able to make it out of there alive. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Zyku is just split pushing. So unless eSkt can start to make some pressure on the map, Zyku is going to get farmed, or really farmed. Ferret is now rotating into this bottom lane, but this may wind up being his death as Shank is coming in from behind the tower. Ripa is there, and he's possibly going to go on to Ferret. Ferret actually goes really deep on the Zyku, wants to get off the damage. Can he finish the job? No, there's too many members there, and his power gets stolen. He does get the kill. He gets the shield. He gets away. No, the snipe comes in. Wubby picks up that one. Now on to Shock. They decided they don't want to keep engaging. I thought that Ferret had just made the best play of the game, but Wubby just shuts him down.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to continue pushing down on this bottom tower as well. And Ripa, Wubby, and Fable, they do have enough muscle to outpush T-Rav, Shock, and Viability. And it's possible that they could even dive it as well. They have the power, they have Fable's burst, they have Wubby's burst as well. Ripa might be looking for a pull, however, and he goes for it. T-Rav just barely out of range, not going to be able to do anything there, and it looks like they're just going to continue the push. Meanwhile, on the rest of the lanes, it looks like Papa Please is sending one person in each lane to try to start pushing down towers and creating more pressure across the map.
And here's something I wonder. And I don't know about this. I'm gonna have to ask Lake or one of the professional players. Do towers have armor?
I have no idea. But
Ripa
T-Rav goes down. I believe that was a...
That was fast.
Was that a hook? That's probably a hook. His hook cooldown is down.
Hook is on cooldown, so that had to... Actually, no, that wasn't a hook. Hook just came off cooldown. Fable actually going forward, trying to get on the Viability, does not get the knock up. Almost gets hit by the both of there, so needs to be careful. The only reason I mentioned ask if towers have armor is because we've seen a lot of crushing maces coming out early, and I wonder if that's for the attack speed of a crushing mace just to bring down towers. Either way, they're going to start to beat on this one, taking it down to about half health. Nice hook on the Shock. He's actually going to slip through the enemy team and he's going to push Ripa back. That was a really smooth play there. I'm surprised he was able to juke his way. Really good reaction time and micro there to get him make his way into the middle of the enemy team. They are going to continue to siege this turret. They've sent Vermilion into the middle lane to try and slow down Malady's push. Malady is going to get forced off of that. A couple of Burrow bots come out, hit T-Rav, and up in the top lane, Ferret dueling with Lag. I don't think he wants to pick that fight.
Ooh, T-Rav goes down to a nice stun as well as a follow-up from Ziku. They're going to be able to take that, and it looks like they're going to pressure the tower afterwards. Not if eSkt has something to say about it, though.
Shock wants to step forward, but he can't do much about it. Viability pops out the rockets. They're very low on mana. The stealth or Shadow Veil out of Wubby. I almost called it a stealth cloak. I stopped myself. Down goes the Burrow bot. It's going to continue to chase. They should be able to get this turret out very easily. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, a duel between Ferret, Lag, and Fable. Ferret is going to get blown up. Lag just destroys him with that late game or mid game burst damage out of a Carter. Now on the Shock, they aren't going to get the stun they need down onto him. A huge slow there, plus the Everwinter Charm. That's going to add, basically make them immobile. Bo uses the bow throw forward, but they don't have anybody to really follow up. And then Wubby goes real deep for Viability. That may be his death. Can they chase onto him? No, he's going to manage to make it out of there. Pops the Shadow Veil. and we'll be able to run away. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Lag finally gets that tower down, so he won his lane. Took him 15 minutes, but he did it.
This is probably one of the most extended sieges I've ever seen. We still have Zaiku, Wubby, and Ripa down in the bottom lane, who's trying to continue to push down this tower. I think this siege has been going on for at least 4 minutes. It's pretty ridiculous, but it looks like Verm and Wubby are going to have a duel.
Yep, TaylorMade takes a lot of damage. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Ferret finally making the plays, gets Lag. Can he get forward onto Malady? No, Fable lays down a really good wall there. So again, eSkt, they have the potential to handle some of these 1v1s or make the picks, but they just lost their lanes so badly. You know, the lanes were controlled so well by Papa Please that even though they're making these picks, they're not bringing back enough of a gold lead. Up in top lane, can they get onto Fable? One auto attack would have done the trick. Ferret is still sneaking around there. He's getting a little greedy. He may need to be careful as Ripa is rotating up into the top lane. Wubby is going to find him. Wubby is going to stun him or actually may get juked out. No, he is going to pick the right clone and brings down Fable. Now Shock needs to get out of there. Throws a long-range bow throw. That's going to slow them down enough for him to retreat. And they have left Vermilion down in the bottom lane split pushing, so there is still some potential for eSkt to try and turn things. The gold is a little less than 10,000. It's more at about 8 right now, so they still have the potential to come back into this game with a really good team fight.
Yep, and again, this game is going to decide whether or not they qualify for the Strife Championship Series in this tournament. Even if they don't get the win, they're going to be able to qualify for next week's tournament. Maybe Ripa tanking up so much damage. He is so tanky right now. Fable
my God, the
with a nice pick
from Malady. T-Rav goes down. Nice manacle out of Ripa to pick a target. And now Zaiku wants to step forward. He wants to fight, but he's going to get stunned up by the deliverance from Ferret. Can they get on top of him? Ferret is so close. They do pick up the kill. It's going to be TaylorMade who grabs that one. Can Shrook lock down a target? Shock lock down a target. God, that's going to mess me up forever. I'll get it one day. Dampening Cloak comes out. Wubby sneaking around with his Shadow Veil. Wants to get on top of a target. Viability is low. If they can get on top of him, they should be able to pick up the kill. Fable gets the knockoff. Invulnerability uses that Void Key. That might have been a little early. Ripa taking a bunch of damage. Shock in the middle of the fight is going to get a nice ultimate. They're going to get onto Lag. Ferret is coming from the backside. He needs one more auto attack. Picks up that one. Double kill for him. He's going to be able to use his hook forward. No, they don't manage to get towards Fable. And that is going to be the disengage. And eSkt winning a fight and taking an objective.
Yeah, Shock doing a really good job of turning that fight around. Very good ultimate from him, stunning 2 people against the wall, doing a ton of damage. And on top of that, things just sort of snowballed after that fight. They were able to force the rest of the team off as well as kill Lag. And that was a pretty decent swing back into their favor. They recovered this probably 4,000 gold, maybe, I don't know. Look at the graph. That's probably about 4,000 gold back in their favor.
3 to 4.
3,500 gold back into their favor. So it sort of mitigates the gold lead that that Papa Please has just a little bit, but Papa Please still has superior map control. They've been able to push down all of the outer towers, whereas they still have this mid one, which is completely undamaged as it looks like. And Fable and
rotation
T-Rav are
and
having a
on
little
to
bit of a
Wubby.
duel.
Shock gets down the stun. Can they finish the job? Out comes a little bit of damage. One more auto. They do pick up the kill. That was a really good Shock field, but there were too many bodies there for eSkt, and they're finally starting to turn the tide. They're getting some of the picks they need. Can they pressure onto this turret? Fable is rotated in to help Ripa and Zaiku defend this. Shock throws the bow throw forward, and they haven't really gotten that much out of T-Rav. He has been an impactful. He's got some damage. He's got a Void Key, which is cool, but they need a little bit more to really make this play. Ferret and Shock waiting around here. They're gonna look to pick onto Zaiku. Oh, they know. They figured it out. I think they probably, if they had pulled the trigger earlier, that might have made a play. Ferret actually makes a really nice juke there. Malady Wall goes in to force him out of that bush. Vermilion has rotated to the bottom lane to clear out some of the waves that had built up there. Lag throws out a snipe, gets Ferret a little bit low, but not as much as we would have thought with how much Lag has been farming. And they've sent Vex up to the top lane, so finally eSkt has the potential to split push. They can start gaining some of the advantage from putting Vex on their roster. Are they going to, is Papa Please going to start this Baldir, or Syndara? They seem to be thinking about it. They're also just sort of rotating around here in the bottom half of the jungle, taking away some of the camps, and they will start the Syndara.
And the Syndara has been stood. Nice wall out from Fable is going to prevent them from initiating within the next couple seconds. Ripa pulls him over the wall.
He's gonna get hooked in, but in comes the Vex that was a... Nobody has fallen yet, and Ferret is around on the backside. Anything, he's getting juked down, and he's gonna get sniped out. Zaiku and Ripa are able to pick up that one. They do still have TaylorMade, but TaylorMade is on the wrong target. He's shooting at Ripa. There's so many low health targets, but they don't have anybody left to deal with it. T-Rav is likely to go down here. He's gonna walk Jukes the wrong way. He should get brought down by Ripa. Ripa is going for it. He gets the manacle and picks up the kill, dragging Moxie's body out from under the tower. The Burrow bot goes down. Wubby picks up that kill, and what looks like eSkt's turnaround has turned into a disaster for them. And Papa Please is going to a free Syndara after picking up the ace.
Yeah, this Syndara is completely free, and it's really just going to be able to help Papa Please to finish the game at this point. They've had a lot of pushing down so far in the Syndara. The Kratos is just going to help with that. This tower's almost down, so as soon as Kratos hits it once, they need just a couple more auto attacks and they'll be able to take that down and then start pushing towards the generators. So during this Kratos fight, it's possible that eSkt can end up taking a team fight off of it as well. What Papa Please needs to do, again, is to make sure that they don't get initiated on, because we're reaching the point where the fact that eSkt has a full tank on Bow, whereas Papa Please only has sort of an off tank on Shane.
Oh,
nice
you're
hook!
Going down, man. You need to be really careful about that. He's going to get blown up by the Maori. Fable's actually very, very low. This could be a 1-for-1. Shock picks up the kill with the bow throw, but he's been left. There isn't enough rotation in from the team. And what is T-Rav doing? He stepped 2 steps far forward. Zaiku is going to pick up that one. There was a Burrow bot at his feet. Even if Zaiku hadn't been there, that would have been the kill for Wubby. And now the push down middle lane, that's going to be a 3-for-1. Not enough for eSkt. The tower's actually at half health. They may bring this one down before Kratos even gets there. TaylorMade doing some good damage. The stun down and the viability, he's going to be able to step away from that. Gets hit by the shot from Lag. It doesn't bring him down, but it's going to force him back. He should be able to get some of the regen, but Kratos is at full health. That's going to be a free generator. I feel like they could take this even without him. It's going to get disabled. Viability is there. Almost gets hit by the manacle out of Ripa, and now there are a few more members from eSkt here. Ferret is going to go forward. TaylorMade gets stunned out. He gets the shield and is able to get out of that shock field by Ray. God, losing my train of thought here. There's just so much going on and trying to take all of it in. And here is the high ground play. Viability goes down. People are just going to continue to chase down. Can he get onto TaylorMade? Gets the slow. One more auto attack. Just one more auto. Can Ferret save him? Ferret may save him. Ferret may make the play to save his teammate. He will. He picks up the kill. The snipe out of Wubby doesn't connect. And now Fable is in a little bit of trouble. Wubby is going to take some shots from the other generator. That was amazing play by Ferret. He's done so much for his team in this match and helping keep everybody alive and making some plays. He gets my MVP for eSkt, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to help them win this match.
Oh, Wubby's he's out for blood. Almost goes down, but all he really gets down is one mine that doesn't hit anything, so not really worth it for him. But hey, he got out alive, so he's sort of fine with that trade. He's going to take an observer tower, and then they're going to start resetting. So at this point, what eSkt needs to do to get back into this game is just capitalize on the mistakes that Papa Please are making. Papa Please play has been a little bit sloppy as time goes on.
In the top lane, Viability getting it slowed down by Zaiku. Pops out his shield. There's still a little bit of slow there. Nice Malady Wall. The CC makes him turn around. He pops his Void Key, but I don't think he's going to make it out of here. That's going to be Zaiku picking up the kill. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Ferret fancies himself a kill. He can't continue to chase, and he walks right into Wubby. The Hexbane is there. Out comes the Shockfield Burrow bot. That is a dead rook, and he should have kept chasing. He at least would have gotten the 1-for-1.
Yeah, and now TaylorMade in shock, looking for a play onto Wubby, but he's not going to walk up there past that brush anytime soon again. And now they're going to start pushing bot and mid at the same time. And I want to see them all start rotating towards bot. Yeah, they're just stepping straight past mid and going for bot. That's the right play in this case, because there's nothing left to take mid. Yeah, they could push minions into the Crux and get a tiny bit of damage down, but the fact that the Crux has a shield, which is a really neat mechanic in this game, if you come from other MOBAs, the shield regenerates after no one attacks it for a while. So that's something that sort of deters just getting one wave in there, doing a little bit of damage, and then backing off. So that's why we see Papa Please all rotating down to the bot lane so they can take down this generator. Oh, so much damage from Zico as he pops his ultimate.
Shock. Oh, he walked right into that stun field. He's gonna get brought down. Fable's actually very, very low. If they can find the right target, T-Rev gonna get destroyed by Zyku. TaylorMade dueling out with lag. Ferret is there. If he could just get one of those targets, he'd be able to start just cutting through them. Oh, he's gonna dash forward. He really wants to get Fable. He's gonna get the kill onto Fable and is gonna try and run away just a little bit more. Oh, onto Zyku. Zyku's actually gonna go down. This may be what Ferret needed. Can he get lag? No, lag is gonna survive with so little health there. The snipe comes out, and that's gonna be viability going down. That'll be the generator. 2 generators in the favor of Papa Please. They're pushing this lead. I don't think they can end right now. But
Not
they
with
should be able to end
up.
very, very
Oh,
soon.
unless Wubby
my
makes the
God,
play.
These Shadow Veils are so destructive for Papa Please. They've got 3 Shadow Veils, a bunch of sets of Rocket Boots. How many Hexbanes? 2 Hexbanes, 3 Shadow Veils, and everybody's got a set of Rocket Boots except for the
Featherstone.
Featherstone. There you go.
So again, eSkt not doing too well in this game. It was sort of a lane swap for Papa to begin with, but eSkt put it back into their favor. And at this point, I'm sort of wondering what would have happened if they just kept the lane swap the way it was. Because when eSkt initiated it, it didn't do very well. Wubby looking for something.
Oh, T-Rav walks right into Ripa, eats the Manacle to the face. TaylorMade is there, but he takes so much damage from maybe one Burrow bot to the face. Even Shock eats some damage from a Burrow bot there, so you know they've got the waves that they've got the waves kind of pushing. They've got huge amounts of damage. They've got pretty much every item. Oh my God, look at Ray's items. He's sitting on 2 power relics. That's huge burst.
Yeah, he's going to be able to do as much damage to anyone as he wants, but eSkt now trying to do their own sort of bushwhack. They catch Ripa.
Stun. Rip is not the target, guys. They will find Wubby, though. Shock isn't going to get the stun, though. They're going to push him back in. They'll pick one target. So that kind of what they needed. But I think if they had used the Deliverance onto Wubby, they could have used less ultimates. If that had been a more informed decision, they'd let Ripa go by, and after Wubby, they would have wasted a few less cooldowns. Although it's kind of what they needed right now. Medical goes over the wall. They knew that Ferret was there. A couple of snipe shots go out. They pretty much felt he was waiting in the wings. He's going to get taken a little low. Now, the positioning's a little bad. War Papa, please. They need to be careful now. Again, these Shadow Veils on people just to like get huge amounts of burst. They're going to go into viability. He's going to get the shield. That's going to deal with the CC break. Ripa is now the target. And a nice play by Shock. Can he get onto anybody? He didn't have the ultimate. That would have been a great time to ult 2 back, but they had wasted it onto Wubby when they probably could have done it without him. TaylorMade way back into the enemy team. Gets blown up by lag viability trying to get onto Zyku. Ferret's going to go over the wall, but that may not have been a safe decision. He's going to use the hide and seek, but I don't think he's going to finish off lag. Now Shock trying to slow down Zyku's charge. He's got a couple more auto attacks. T-Rav does a little bit of damage, but Zyku doesn't care. She's stolen so much power from him over the course of that entire fight, and they should be able to push down this generator. Wubby is now back to help out the team. Shock is looking to go forward, gets hit with an Everwinter Charm. That'll slow him down, and although Fable is a little low, Wubby is here to back them up. T-Rav was looking to land that giant ball of yarn. They should be able to bring down this tower. They have Zyku, who is huge right now. Manacle goes forward as well as the shock shot gate. God, I'm losing my mind here. There's so much going on in these games. Zyku gonna go with a little bit of a taunting back. He should be careful about how much damage he takes unless he's just... Oh my God, this high ground.
Oh, they're baiting the high
this
ground.
High ground so hard. And
Shadow Veils?
eSkt knows. eSkt knows. They're willing to just poke for a while. Oh my God, Ferret, why did you go over there? You could pick up Zyku. They will get him. Bring on the lag. Ferret is going to get Hexbaned out. They're going to lose Shock in the middle of that fight. Now T-Rev looking to get onto the Malady. Fable is not going to go down yet, so that was actually a pretty good play by them. They went 1 for 1. Wubby goes forward, gets down a huge stun, and that's going to be a Burrow bot picking. Oh no, it's actually lag. Snipe comes out. That is going to be TaylorMade going down. Ferret is still there, but he's going to get slowed down and just can't get near this fight, even though everybody is so low. Ferret can't go too deep, or he's going to get brought down. A Hexbane to slow his progress. Carter picks up a shot there. Ripa wants to go in. He Hexbanes and hooks, and down goes Ferret. One more auto attack. That giant key to the face is going to unlock the victory here for Papa Please, and they should be able to push in and finish the game.
Yep, generator's shield, or the Crux's shield got taken out by the generator being destroyed. That means all 3 generators are down. No power to the Crux. Nothing left it can do. It cannot attack. Rippa is trying to finish it off right there, even though Shock's trying to burn him down. Really, really nice play by Papa Please right